Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're not just looking at English words. We're trying to unlock the kind of social code, the stuff that makes conversations really flow naturally.
Exactly.
If you ever felt like, okay, I understand the dictionary definition, but I'm missing something, missing the rhythm, then this deep dive is definitely for you.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to explore these, deceptively simple phrases, the kind native speakers use constantly.
All the time.
Yeah, and they're often overlooked in textbooks, but honestly, they're absolute gold if you want to truly connect with people.
They really are the building blocks.
So our mission today is to pull apart a handful of these common but incredibly powerful everyday English phrases.
Right.
Think of them as the unsung heroes of conversation. They're not flashy, not complicated grammar.
No.
But they're the linguistic glue. They hold interactions together. They give you those aha moments, where suddenly rote vocabulary becomes real confident communication.
That leap, yeah.
We've got this list of phrases, these sort of foundational bits, and our goal is to show you how they work in practice across loads of real-world scenarios, so you can feel genuinely well-informed about their essential and sometimes kind of surprising role.
And what's fascinating here, I think, is precisely how these little linguistic units, these small phrases, carry such a wealth of cultural context and communicative intent.
Right, it's more than just words.
So much more. They function as indispensable social tools, really. They guide us through that intricate dance of human interaction. And for many learners, this is the challenge, isn't it? Their meaning often goes way beyond a simple literal translation.
Yeah.
They carry implied etiquette or social signals, maybe specific emotional tones that aren't obvious just from the words themselves.
So our aim is to demystify them.
Exactly. Pull back the curtain on how they really operate day to day. And this brings up a really important question, I think, for anyone who's navigating English-speaking places.
Yeah.
How do we actually use these phrases? Not just to, pass information back and forth, but to build rapport, to show respect, avoid misunderstandings.
Smooth things over sometimes.
Yes. And navigate social situations smoothly, often without even consciously thinking about it.
Yeah.
Once you get the hang of it.
Right.
It's the difference, really, between just speaking English and truly living in English, understanding its rhythms, its unspoken rules.
I like that. Living in English.
Yeah. So we're going to start with a phrase that seems almost too simple. Why even talk about it?
Okay, I'm intrigued.
But simplicity holds a really profound lesson, I think.
You're absolutely right there. Okay, so let's kick things off with put clothes on. On the surface, it's about as straightforward as language gets, isn't it?
Totally.
It's what you do every morning. Pretty much. But it's very directness, as you were hinting. It's unwavering consistency that actually makes it a surprisingly powerful anchor, especially in the, often unpredictable sea of English phrasal verbs.
Exactly. And anchor, that's a perfect description.
Right.
Because, the core meaning of put clothes on is precisely what it sounds like.
Right. To dress.
To dress oneself with clothing. It describes the physical act, taking garments, placing them onto your body. Simple. But the real insight here isn't what it means, but as you said, how reliably literal it stays.
That's interesting, because put on can mean other things.
So many other things. Put on a show, put on weight, put on airs. Those are all idiomatic.
Right.
But put clothes on almost always, always, keeps its concrete, actionable meaning. You're talking about actual clothes.
Okay.
And that unwavering consistency, that makes it a rare sort of linguistic safe harbor for learners. A dependable phrase that just means what it says. Every time.
That's actually quite comforting in English.
It is. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, you see how even super simple phrases like this are the absolute bedrock, the foundation for describing the most basic, universal daily actions. You can't really talk about getting ready for anything, work, school, going out, without understanding this fundamental concept.
That's a brilliant point about its consistency. It's nice to know there's at least one phrasal verb that isn't trying to trick you.
Exactly.
So, okay. Beyond just its literal meaning, how does it typically show up in just, everyday chat? Let's think about routine actions first.
Precisely. So in the context of a routine action, put clothes on is used to describe that simple, habitual act of dressing, often without any specific external purpose beyond just, being dressed.
Like part of the morning ritual.
Exactly. It's part of that sequence of personal care that's so ingrained we barely even notice it. You might describe your morning, say, After I showered, I put my clothes on, and then I went downstairs for coffee.
Simple, direct.
Or if you're describing someone else's habits, you could say something like, he always puts his clothes on really quickly in the morning. He's got his routine down.
Right.
This usage really speaks to the regularity, the almost automatic nature of the action. It's just about the predictable flow of a day.
Okay, but it changes a bit, doesn't it, when you add, like, a purpose to it, when you're getting ready to actually go out somewhere?
Yes, that's where the context adds that little layer of implication.
Okay.
So when it's about preparation for going out, the phrase is still direct, obviously, but now it carries this hint of purpose, or maybe timing.
Right, you're dressing for something.
Exactly, for something. Often with a sense of anticipation or maybe even urgency. You might hear a parent yelling up the stairs, you should put your clothes on now, kids. We're leaving for the park in 5 minutes.
Yep, heard that one. Or said it.
Huh?
Yeah.
The urgency is palpable there.
Yeah.
Or maybe a friend's telling you about someone else. She put her clothes on for the job interview, choosing her most professional outfit. See here, for the job interview, it explains the type of clothes, maybe, and the serious intent behind the act.
So it's not just dressing anymore.
It's dressing with a specific goal in mind. That context adds the nuance.
Got it. And what about when it's an instruction or a request? I'm thinking especially with children, or maybe in situations where someone isn't quite dressed appropriately, or maybe they just forgot.
Oh, that's a very common, a very practical use. As an instruction, it's often an imperative, right?
Yeah.
A direct command.
Like, put your clothes on.
Yeah, especially with kids or people who need that prompt. To a child, you'd very often hear, please put your clothes on, it's getting late for school. The bus will be here any minute. Or maybe a more thoughtful reminder to a friend, hey, it's surprisingly cold outside today. Make sure you put your warm clothes on before you head out.
Okay, still direct, but maybe gentler.
Right. And it can also be a gentle, maybe even slightly exasperated request. Like you come downstairs and your teenager's there in their pajamas. Did you remember to put your clothes on before coming down for breakfast? With that tone.
Huh. Yes. Been there.
In these cases, it implies a necessary action that hasn't happened yet. Or maybe correcting an oversight. It signals an expectation of readiness.
What's really striking about put clothes on, though, is just how direct it is. There's no ambiguity.
None at all.
No complex idiom, no hidden meaning you have to figure out. It just states the action, which, like you said, in the world of English phrasal verbs is surprisingly rare.
Exactly. Its simplicity is its strength. Seriously.
Hmm.
For learners, this phrase is like a solid, dependable tool in the toolbox.
Yeah.
Unlike, say, put up with, which means tolerate,
Right.
or put out, like extinguishing a fire.
Totally different.
Put clothes on consistently reliably refers to the physical act of dressing, and that makes it a foundational building block. You use it for personal routines, talking about getting prepared, basic daily logistics. Its directness is actually, I think, a profound lesson in how fundamental actions are expressed in English, often, very clearly, and without unnecessary fuss.
So what does this all mean for you, our listener? Well, this phrase might seem incredibly basic, almost not worth mentioning, but its reliability and its universal application make it a really crucial component of everyday conversation. Mastering it means you can confidently talk about the simplest, most universal parts of life without getting tangled up in those tricky idiomatic traps that English loves to set.
Definitely.
It's a good reminder that sometimes the most basic words carry the most consistent and actually the most important meanings.
Well said.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Let's transition to a phrase that often feels anything but simple.
Okay. Which one?
I did not mean that.
Yeah.
This one takes us right into the fascinating and, sometimes pretty fraught territory of communication repair.
Oh, absolutely. A critical one.
This isn't just about grammar, is it? It's about navigating the messy, real-world reality of human interaction.
Totally. And what's fascinating here, I think, is its profound role. It's like a linguistic undo button.
Huh. Yeah, good analogy.
Especially in conflict resolution or just maintaining clear communication. The core purpose of I did not mean that is, well, to correct a misunderstanding.
Okay.
Or to clarify your original intent. Or maybe even just retract a statement that was either misinterpreted by the listener.
Which happens.
Or maybe just poorly expressed by you, the speaker. Which also happens.
Oh, definitely.
So it's an essential tool for managing social interactions.
Right.
preventing arguments maybe, preserving relationships. It lets you say, hold on, hang on, that's not what I intended to convey. Let me try that again. It highlights that critical difference between what was actually said and what was intended.
And gosh, misunderstandings happen constantly, don't they? It's just part of talking to other humans. We all misinterpret things or say something that just doesn't land right.
Absolutely, the universal experience. So let's consider verbal misinterpretation first. That's probably the most common use case.
Okay.
This is where, a spoken comment is just taken the wrong way. Maybe sarcasm wasn't clear.
Oh, yeah, sarcasm is dangerous.
It really is. Or a joke falls flat.
Right.
Or you use a word that has an unintended connotation for the listener.
Right.
For instance, someone might say, maybe ironically, oh, that performance was absolutely terrible, but they mean it was astonishingly good.
Like mind-blowingly good, yeah.
Exactly. But if the listener looks confused or maybe even offended,
Oops.
the speaker would quickly jump in with, oh, wait, I did not mean that literally. I meant it was terribly good, like incredibly impressive.
Okay, immediate corrections.
Immediate course correction. Or a more subtle example, maybe you say to someone, wow, you look different today.
That could go wrong.
It could. So you might quickly add, I did not mean that in a negative way at all. I just noticed you changed your hairstyle, and it looks really fresh.
Phew. Saved it.
Exactly. It's essential for preventing a small ripple of misunderstanding from becoming a huge wave of offense.
That's happened to me so many times. You try to be clever or witty, and it just completely backfires.
We've all been there.
What about when words unintentionally cause, genuine offense or hurt someone's feelings? That feels like a much more sensitive area. This phrase really has to do some heavy lifting then.
It does. And in those scenarios involving accidental offense, I did not mean that, is usually or should usually be accompanied by a sincere apology.
Right. You need the sorry.
Absolutely. And a clear explanation, expressing regret. The words spoken might have caused real hurt, even if your intention was totally benign. So here, the phrase acts as a crucial bridge, an attempt to mend that verbal misstep by emphasizing your intent over the immediate impact.
Okay.
You might hear someone say, look, I'm genuinely sorry if that sounded harsh. I did not mean that to be a personal attack on you at all. I was just frustrated with the situation, not with you.
That clarifies things.
It does. Or, gosh, I hope you didn't take what I said the wrong way. I really did not mean that. I was just trying to offer some constructive criticism about the process, not criticize your effort.
Right. That's important.
In these cases, it's not just about clarifying a statement. It's fundamentally about preserving the relationship and showing empathy.
And it's also used just for, factual errors, right? Or if you just misspeak conceptually, when you realize, oops, I just said something that's objectively wrong or not quite what I was trying to get across.
Yes, that's another key application. Very important. When you realize you've said something factually incorrect or expressed an idea different from what you truly intended, this phrase becomes a self-correction mechanism.
Okay.
It's about maintaining accuracy and clarity, especially important in, say, professional or academic settings.
Sure.
For example, wait a second. I just said we met last year. I did not mean that. It was actually 2 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
At the industry conference.
Simple correction.
Simple correction. Or maybe conceptually, when I mentioned needing a large project, I did not mean that we would need a huge team and massive resources. I meant a project with significant scope and strategic importance, requiring a focused effort from our current small group.
Ah, clarifying the scope.
Exactly. It clarifies the specific inaccuracy or it redefines the conceptual boundary of what you just said. It ensures precision.
The tone of voice here, it must be incredibly important.
Crucial. Absolutely crucial.
Because I did not mean that could sound really sincerely apologetic, or it could sound exasperated, like, why don't you understand me? Or even dismissive.
You've hit the nail on the head. Tone is paramount. A sincere, apologetic tone that makes the phrase effective. It mends fences, builds trust.
Okay.
An exasperated tone, though. That might imply frustration at being misunderstood, which could subtly shift blame onto the listener.
Yeah, not helpful.
Not helpful at all. Might even make things worse. And a dismissive tone, delivered with, a shrug or an eye roll, that could completely alienate the other person.
Oh.
It suggests their misinterpretation is their own problem.
Ouch.
So it's often the nonverbal cues too, eye contact, facial expression, posture, combined with that sincerity in the voice that truly convey the genuine intent behind the words.
Right.
A quick, empathetic delivery can smooth things over. A hesitant or dismissive one can dig the hole deeper.
And it almost always needs a follow-up, doesn't it? You rarely just say, I did not mean that, and then silence.
No, that'd be weird.
You usually have to explain what you did mean to actually fix the communication breakdown. It's
Yeah.
like hitting delete, but then you gotta type in the correct text.
Precisely. That's a great way to think about it. The phrase is usually the opening to a clarification, not the conclusion.
Right.
It's the linguistic equivalent of hitting undo, like we said, but then you have to immediately provide the correct input. I did not mean that. I meant to say he was incredibly impressive, not literally terrible.
Yeah.
Or, I did not mean that. What I was trying to convey was my concern about the overall timeline, not your specific contribution. That explanation is absolutely crucial for full communication repair, for rebuilding clarity and trust. Without it, the phrase itself can sound a bit like an evasion rather than a genuine attempt to correct things.
That makes total sense. So what does this all mean for you, our listener? Well, this phrase, I did not mean that. It's a seriously powerful social lubricant and an indispensable tool for navigating those inevitable misunderstandings that just pop up in conversation. It allows us to gracefully address verbal missteps, prevent conflicts from escalating, and maintain clarity and goodwill in our interactions. Mastering I did not mean that, and crucially, how to deliver it effectively.
Yes.
The delivery. That's essential for anyone who wants to communicate effectively and maintain strong, authentic relationships in English. It helps ensure your intentions are understood, even when your words might initially, fail you.
Beautifully put.
Right. Our next phrase tackles another really crucial aspect of social interaction: politeness, social etiquette.
Yes. Always important.
Do you mind if I join you? It sounds simple, but it's not just a question, is it? It's like a key, a gateway to inclusion.
It really is.
It's a courteous way to bridge social gaps and, importantly, show respect for dynamics that are already in place.
That's spot on. Its function is straightforward, yet incredibly vital in social settings. It's the polite way to ask for permission, right? Permission to enter a group or sit at a table or participate in an activity where other people are already present.
Okay.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, like you said, this phrase is a wonderful demonstration of respect. Respect for personal space, respect for existing social dynamics. It highlights these deep-seated cultural norms around politeness, especially in situations where you're approaching a group or an individual who's already established in a space or an activity.
Right, you can't just assume.
Exactly. It's about seeking an explicit invitation or permission, rather than making an assumption and potentially intruding, which can feel quite jarring.
And we run into these situations all the time, don't we? Like walking into a busy coffee shop, you see someone at a table with an empty chair.
Yeah.
Or maybe finding yourself in a shared workspace, needing a spot.
Exactly. So in those scenarios, joining a table or a group, this phrase is your absolute go-to. Imagine that busy cafe or a library or a co-working space.
Okay.
You spot a table, there's an empty chair, but someone's already sitting there, maybe reading or working.
Right.
Instead of just pulling up the chair and plonking yourself down, which could feel quite rude in many English-speaking cultures,
Yeah, a bit abrupt.
you typically lean in slightly, make eye contact, and politely ask, "Excuse me, this table looks like it has space. Do you mind if I join you?"
Nice and
Or, if you see two people having what looks like a friendly, open chat, and you feel comfortable approaching, you can maybe say, "Hi, you two look like you're having a great conversation. Do you mind if I join you for a bit?"
Okay.
It acknowledges their prior presence, right?
And
And it seeks their explicit okay, respecting their current space and interaction.
it's used beyond just like physical space, isn't it?
Yeah.
What about wanting to jump into an ongoing conversation or an activity that's already started?
Absolutely. The phrase extends very naturally to those situations too, where you want to participate in an ongoing activity or a pre-existing conversation.
Okay.
Maybe you walk into the common room, see a group of friends really into a board game, and you'd love to play.
Yeah.
Instead of just grabbing a seat and asking for the rules, you'd probably say, "Oh, you're playing Settlers. Looks fun. Do you mind if I join you?"
Makes sense. Polite entry.
Exactly. Or say you overhear colleagues discussing a topic you're really interested in, maybe a new company policy. You might approach and say, "Excuse me, I couldn't help but overhear your discussion about the new WFH policy. Do you mind if I join you for a moment? I have some thoughts on that I'd love to share."
Okay.
In these cases, it's about seeking intellectual or social participation, requesting entry into an established dynamic, not just a physical space.
No, what about the responses? Because usually if someone asks this politely, genuinely, You're probably not going to say no, go away, are you?
Huh. General not a no. In polite society, a direct, flat, negative response to, do you mind if I join you, is quite rare.
Okay.
It could happen if the situation is genuinely private or maybe the table is literally reserved, but it's uncommon. The expected responses are almost always positive and welcoming.
Like what?
You'll typically hear things like, not at all, please do, or, of course, pull up a chair, or simply please, sometimes with a gesture.
Right. A nod or wave.
Exactly. A welcoming gesture, a nod, a smile away towards the empty seat. A negative response, if it ever came, would likely be delivered with a bit of awkwardness, maybe an implied apology.
How?
Like, actually, we're just finishing up here, or I'm so sorry, we're discussing something kind of private right now, perhaps another time.
Okay, softer refusal.
Yeah. But these are far less common, precisely because the question itself is designed as this polite opening for social engagement. Most people respond in kind.
And you mentioned gestures. The nonverbal cues must be important too, right? Like how you ask it.
Oh, definitely. The nonverbals are key to conveying the politeness and sincerity of the request.
Such as?
Well, maybe a slight pause before speaking, allowing them to notice you. Direct, but not staring. Eye contact, signaling you're aware of them.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe an inviting posture or a gentle gesture towards the space you'd like to occupy. All these things enhance the phrase's effectiveness.
Okay.
These cues signal your respectful intent and also your willingness to accept their decision, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It makes the whole interaction smooth and pleasant.
Right.
And it's also worth noting the grammar here. Do you mind if I plus simple present verb? That structure itself is a very common and polite way to ask for permission generally.
Ah, good point. Like, do you mind if I open the window?
Exactly. Do you mind if I borrow your pen? Understanding that structure helps you apply it way beyond just joining.
That's really useful. So what does this all mean for you, the learner? Well, do you mind if I join you? Is basically a masterclass in polite social navigation. It opens doors to new connections, allows you to enter existing social circles gracefully, and it really demonstrates a deep understanding of social courtesy and respect for boundaries.
Yeah.
It's a phrase that truly embodies that idea of making space for yourself, but in a respectful way. It fosters inclusion and helps build new relationships.
Couldn't agree more.
Okay. Now, for a phrase that speaks to teamwork, shared ownership, maybe collective effort, chip in.
Chip in. Love this one.
This one feels really versatile and useful, doesn't it? Spanning everything from like splitting a pizza bill to solving a tricky problem together.
It is incredibly versatile.
Mm.
So the primary meaning of chip in is to contribute something, usually money, effort, or ideas, often as part of a group, working towards a common goal.
Okay.
And what's really fascinating here, I think, is its strong connotation of shared responsibility and collective benefit.
Right. It feels collaborative.
Very collaborative.
Yeah.
It's about more than just giving. It's about pooling resources for a common cause, recognizing that many small individual contributions can add up to something significant. The phrase itself almost evokes that image, right? Each person adding a chip, like a poker chip, maybe to a communal pile, making it grow.
Yeah, I can picture that.
It's really about collaboration and that community spirit.
And it's probably most commonly used when we're talking about money, right? That feels like the first place my mind goes, like everyone putting money in for a group gift.
That's certainly one of its most frequent and easily understood uses, absolutely.
Yeah.
In scenarios involving financial contribution, chip in describes individuals putting money towards some shared expense, like a group gift, yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone decided to chip in $10 for a really nice birthday present for our manager.
Okay.
Or splitting a bill at a restaurant among friends. Hey, let's just all chip in for dinner tonight. It'll be easier than figuring out who had what.
Yeah, avoids the awkward bill math.
Exactly. Or maybe even for a charity collection or a community project. The neighbors all chipped in to buy new plants for the community garden. It denotes the communal financial effort for a shared outcome, fosters a sense of fairness.
But it's not just about money, though. You said effort, too. How does that work? Like when you're all working on something together.
Exactly. That's another major use. When we talk about effort or work contribution, the phrase means people contributing their time, their physical labor, or maybe their specific skills to a task or project.
Okay.
It really highlights the power of sharing the burden, working more efficiently together. Think about a big cleanup after a party or a community event.
Right.
Someone might say, look, if everyone chips in and helps with the tidying up, we can get this done much faster and all go home sooner.
Many hands make light work.
Precisely. Or for a collaborative project, maybe at work or school, we'll need everyone to chip in with their part of the research if we want to meet the deadline for this presentation.
Got it. Shared tasks.
It emphasizes that idea that the collective effort is often greater, or at least easier, than the sum of individual struggles.
And then there's the third type you mentioned, ideas, intellectual contribution, like in a brainstorming meeting.
Yes, exactly that. In meetings, discussions, problem-solving sessions, chip in is used when people offer their thoughts, suggestions, insights, opinions, contributing to the collective conversation.
So it's like an invitation to contribute ideas.
It often functions that way, yes. And it actively encourages participation and signals that all input is valued. A meeting facilitator might say, okay, brainstorming time, please feel free to chip in with your ideas no matter how out there they seem. All perspectives welcome.
Okay, nice and open.
Or a team leader might ask, right, this new policy proposal, I'd like everyone to chip in with their opinions so we can really understand its potential impact from all angles. Here, it's about contributing mental resources, fostering that democratic, inclusive environment where everyone's thoughts matter.
It also feels like it implies a certain equity, maybe not equality in the amount, but everyone doing their part.
Yes, that's a really important nuance. You're right. Chip in implies an equitable or proportional contribution, more than a strictly equal one.
Okay.
While the exact amounts of money or effort or the number of ideas might not be identical from person to person,
Yeah.
the expectation is that everyone contributes what they can or what feels fair given their capacity or role towards that shared goal. This fosters a strong sense of fairness and shared responsibility within the group. It acknowledges that people might have different resources or abilities, but everyone's contribution counts.
That's a nice sentiment.
It really encapsulates that spirit of cooperation. The focus is on the communal achievement, not strict individual measurement.
And it generally has a pretty informal, friendly, collaborative kind of tone, right? Which makes it good for casual group stuff.
That's absolutely true. It's a phrase that definitely reinforces camaraderie and collaboration. It feels much less formal than saying contribute or donate or participate.
Yeah, chip in sounds more relaxed.
Exactly. That makes it perfectly suited for a huge range of everyday social and professional interactions where you're looking for a collective, willing effort.
Okay.
Its origin, interestingly, is thought to maybe come from card games like poker, where players chip in their stakes.
Yeah, makes sense.
Or possibly from carpentry, where a small piece chipped off a larger block contributes to the overall structure being built.
Huh. Cool origins.
Yeah, and that historical hint just reinforces the idea. Small, individual contributions forming a larger, valuable whole.
So what does this all mean for you, our listener? Well, chip in really captures that spirit of cooperation. It illustrates beautifully how small individual contributions, whether they're money, effort, or ideas, can lead to really significant and successful collective outcomes.
Yeah.
It's a great phrase to understand and use if you want to be seen as an active, valued part of any team, community, or social group. It shows you're willing to share the load and celebrate that collective success.
Definitely a positive, useful phrase.
Okay, our final phrase for this deep dive is drop someone off. Now, this might sound like pure logistics, right? Just the mechanics of transportation.
It does seem very practical.
But it's incredibly common, and it carries specific nuances about convenience, favors, and the shared practicalities of just getting around in daily life.
That's precisely right. The core meaning of drop someone off is absolutely about transportation. Taking someone to a particular place and leaving them there. That's the definition.
Okay.
But if we connect this to the bigger picture, its practical utility in daily life is just immense, especially when you think about commutes, running errands, general travel arrangements in modern life.
Yeah, cars, taxis, buses.
Exactly. It highlights the convenience of shared rides or designated stops. It's a vital phrase for coordinating movement from A to B efficiently. The insight here, maybe, is about how it reflects a culture of efficiency and often mutual assistance in getting around.
So the most common scenario has got to be in a car, right? Like taking your kids to school or giving a friend a lift home after a night out.
Absolutely. In everyday car travel, this phrase is used constantly, and it often implies either a favor or just a planned part of a journey.
Okay.
You might say to a friend who's driving, hey, can you drop me off at the corner up there? I can walk the rest of the way. It's just a block.
Great, easy request.
Or a parent might routinely say, okay, I'll drop the kids off at school on my way to work this morning, save them the bus ride.
Part of the routine.
Exactly. Or it's frequently used when offering a ride. Hey, I can drop you off at your place after the party if you need a lift. Don't worry about calling a taxi.
Nice offer.
These are just routine, practical drop-offs. They happen every single day, and they emphasize convenience and often just simple courtesy.
And it also applies to public transport, doesn't it? Like buses, taxis, ride shares. You tell them where you want to get off. But it feels slightly different, like the driver is the one doing the dropping off.
That's a good distinction.
Yeah.
Yes, when discussing public or hired transport, drop someone off usually indicates the exact point where the passenger wants to alight or get out.
Mm-hmm.
And it often does imply the driver's role in facilitating that action. So in a taxi or a ride share, you tell the driver, could you please drop me off right at the main entrance of the building?
Okay.
Or if you're giving someone directions using the bus, you might explain, don't worry, the bus will drop you off at the next stop right in front of the library. You can't miss it.
Right, the bus does the action.
It's about that designated point of separation from the vehicle, often orchestrated by the driver or the service. And yeah, that differentiates it a bit from simply getting off a bus or a train, which feels more like a self-directed action by the passenger.
Interesting distinction. It's also used a lot in planning, I feel. Like coordinating who's taking whom where, especially for trips to the airport or events. It's like a key piece of logistical chat.
Yes, absolutely. It's a cornerstone phrase in planning and logistics. When you're coordinating travel plans, discussing routes, offering assistance with transport, drop someone off comes into play as a crucial element of scheduling things.
How so?
Well, for future plans, someone might ask, okay, what time should I drop you off at the airport for your flight tomorrow morning? We need to leave enough time for traffic.
Standard planning question.
Exactly. Or offering help to a colleague. Hey, I'm driving past the train station on my way home. I can drop you off if you need a ride. It's no trouble.
Right.
It's about prearranging that endpoint of a shared journey. It signals efficiency and often helpfulness.
What's interesting, though, is that it implies a really brief stop, doesn't it? Like, you're not necessarily parking the car, getting out, and walking the person to the door.
That's a crucial nuance.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's where learners sometimes misunderstand. Drop someone off definitely implies a brief halt, just long enough for the person to exit the vehicle safely and grab their things.
Quick in and out. Well, out.
Exactly, just out. It doesn't typically suggest the driver will park or wait around or accompany the person inside the destination. It's usually a quick, efficient disembarkation point.
Right.
That little word off literally implies separation, detachment, removal from the vehicle at a specific, often curbside point.
Okay.
And this stands in direct contrast to picking someone up, where the driver collects the passenger. Understanding that drop-off pickup distinction is really vital for clear communication about travel plans.
That makes perfect sense. So what does this all mean for you, our listener?
Well, this phrase is incredibly functional, super practical. It's a definite go-to for discussing the logistics of getting from place A to place B. Whether you're coordinating daily commutes, using public transport, planning a trip, or just helping out a friend.
Drop someone off is a core part of navigating the practicalities of everyday movement. And it kind of reflects a helpful, efficient approach to managing daily tasks.
Absolutely. A very necessary, everyday phrase.
So, recapping here.
Yeah, let's pull it together. What's truly fascinating here, looking back at all five, is how these seemingly simple phrases, put clothes on? I did not mean that.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I join you, chip in, and drop someone off? How they are such essential building blocks.
Right.
Essential for authentic, natural communication. Mastering them, really getting them, allows you to not just understand English words on a page, but to actually use the language naturally, effectively, in countless everyday situations.
Yeah, using it is the key.
Exactly. Each phrase, in its own unique way, opens up a new avenue for expression, for understanding. It makes your English feel more fluid, your interactions more meaningful.
And hopefully makes you feel more confident.
Definitely. More confident in navigating social situations. They are like the small, crucial gears that make the big linguistic machine of conversation run smoothly.
I like that. Small gears, big machine. We've taken these basic phrases and hopefully given you a shortcut to understanding their real-world application, revealing some maybe surprising insights into their social and cultural weight along the way.
Yeah.
And here's where it really gets interesting, I think, when we zoom out and think about the bigger picture. Consider just how many misunderstandings in life, big ones, small ones, could potentially be avoided if everyone truly mastered the subtle art of saying, sincerely, I did not mean that.
It's profound when you think about it.
It really is. It's not just about correcting a factual error. It's about preserving relationships, building trust, ensuring clarity, just by prioritizing your honest intent over an accidental misstatement. The power in that small phrase is huge.
It truly is.
And then, conversely, think about how many connections are forged, how many opportunities just pop up simply because someone had the courage and the politeness to ask, "Do you mind if I join you?"
Yeah, opening a door.
Exactly. It's a small phrase, seems insignificant maybe, but it's such a powerful invitation, a gesture of respect that can genuinely open doors to new friendships, new collaborations, new experiences.
It's the small things that build the big things.
Absolutely. The true power of language isn't always in the grand speeches or the complex academic theories, is it?
Not at all.
It's right here, in these everyday moments. These subtle linguistic cues, these simple phrases that shape our interactions and literally build our social world, one polite request, one clarification, one shared ride at a time.
Beautifully summarized.
So we really encourage you, our listener, keep an ear out for these phrases as you go about your day. Listen for them in conversations you have or overhear, watch for them in movies or TV shows, and just notice. Notice how they shape the exchanges happening around you.
Become an observer of the everyday.
Yeah. And maybe think, what new scenarios can you imagine using these phrases in now that you understand their deeper purpose and nuance?
And a good exercise.
We really hope this deep dive into these essential everyday English phrases has left you feeling even more well-informed and maybe more equipped and excited to dive into the rich nuances of English communication.
Keep listening, keep learning,